Rankin, a teacher in Urbana, allegedly told investigators her husband had begun selling steroids before progressing to other substances. And then how do you make the transition to fent? It's just like, hey, you want to go to the gym, knock out a couple of supersets and then sit in the motel room with me for the next 4 days? Like, is that, how do the conversations go? Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Now,
But what I want to talk about is this man is Vivek Ramaswamy's family bodyguard.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No, because Vivek Ramaswamy was sued up for the Cleveland Browns to endear himself to Ohio. Ain't no way that happened. Hey, Vivek, they lying on you. I told you about them. Because ain't no way your big reveal went that bad.
Gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Pastor Jeff Torrey.
No, I was praying. I was praying. And he said, Pastor, I just bowed my head. Run it back though. Run it back.
Gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Pastor Jeff Torrey.
He good though? He good? Okay, we can laugh. We can laugh. Jesus would have wanted us to laugh. I think he laughed.
Only Jesus walks on water, not this guy.
That was a good recovery though. That was a good recovery. Only Jesus walks on water. Does anybody walk on wood? Because apparently you don't walk on wood neither. No. My bad, Vivek. Apparently it did go that badly. I didn't realize. How did they receive your running mate?
After starting his campaign, framing himself as an outsider ready to shake up a broken system and bring affordability to Ohioans, Vivek Ramaswamy has chosen one of the most entrenched insiders in Ohio politics for his lieutenant governor. Rob McCauley has spent his career rewriting the rules to lock in Republican power and take power away from voters, pushing massive tax cuts for the wealthy while shrinking funding for schools, infrastructure, and basic services, and steering Ohioans' money to billionaires, including a $600 million taxpayer giveaway to the owners of the Cleveland Browns, while claiming Ohio can't afford to fully fund public schools. Vivek Ramaswamy's lieutenant governor pick proves that he is just going to continue to protect the status quo, looking out for the wealthy, while Ohioans continue to struggle with higher and higher costs.
The Cleveland Browns. So you really would suit up and catch passes from Shador to get elected? It's really that desperate?
Do you understand that it is actually statistically harder for a team to be this consistently bad than it is for them to occasionally accidentally be good?
My goodness. Well, this can't help.
Do you guys just believe in divine timing? Because I do.
I think we just saw divine timing. That was divine to me.
And yesterday I was talking to the young people of Ohio, telling us that we need to not vote for Vivek Ramaswamy. And I just wanted to share this because I thought it was interesting and it just, happened. So this man right here, his wife, I believe, is a teacher and he is a bodyguard and he does like contracted work, stuff like that or whatever. And him and his wife were using the United States Postal Service to bring to traffic drugs. Yeah. traffic drugs. So I'm going to put some of the articles here on it. But what I want to talk about is this man is Vivek Ramaswamy's family bodyguard. Okay? And his wife's a teacher. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. Divine timing. Another fucking reason. Nope. Sorry. No. No. Look, his bodyguard can't even follow the rules. He's already taking advantage of the system he works for. Nope. Not happening. Nope. Sorry.
Vivek. You got charges? You got charges? Now, I don't want to hear no excuse. Don't you always say don't be a victim?
You're a victim.
Yes. The whole news media picked it up. No. Vivek Ramaswamy family bodyguard arrested on drug trafficking charges. Justin Salsburey, the bodyguard for Ramaswamy's family, was arrested last week alongside his wife, Ruthann Rankin, on drug trafficking charges. Wait a minute. It wasn't just a little hand-to-hand in the park. A whole trafficking operation?
You're goddamn right.
You didn't notice all them people popping by all late at night? Huh? You didn't notice that line going all the way down the driveway on weekends? What was it? Was it any of them little empty red and blue capsules? When you came out to get the paper, you see any of them capsules in the yard? You never wondered why he never had no bills bigger than a 5? You never wondered that? It wasn't weird that he had one of those big colorful belts on that didn't go with the uniform for him to be your bodyguard. It wasn't weird that he drove you around in a car with no license plate on it. It wasn't weird that you had to pay him in cash wrapped up in a brown paper bag and leave it in the park. That wasn't weird. It wasn't weird that he refused your guest room because he wanted to work out of the motel. It wasn't weird he was always with Don Jr. That wasn't weird to you at all. Ramaswamy, a former Republican presidential candidate, is running for governor of Ohio, and Salsburey is part of his security team up until his arrest. The Ramaswamy campaign team said that before his employment through a private security firm, Salsburey had passed multiple FBI and state background checks, as well as drug screenings and random testing. You never noticed that his white Air Forces was always filthy? You never noticed that? The criminal complaint outlined how local and federal investigators worked together on the case, which saw the packages connected to Salsburey examined, along with an address referred to as the target location. There, investigators found packing materials and multiple syringes, as well as a Ziploc bag containing traces of fentanyl. Yeah, Vivek, they said local and federal. So that means your people in Ohio knew, and some of your friends in the federal government knew, and nobody rocked with you enough. Yeah. At least they're working together. That's more than we can say for Minneapolis. During a search of the couple's home, law enforcement found 264 grams of blue fent, 938 grams of meth pills, and 19 grams of MDMA, the complaint against Rankin said. She later said she believed the blue pills were benzos and some of the others were Adderall. I'd have said it was Tylenol. I'm saving time. I colored my Tylenol because they're trying to take Tylenol away from people. So all this is all Tylenol. I'm trying to continue to get Tylenol to these mothers.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
Rankin, a teacher in Urbana, allegedly told investigators her husband had begun selling steroids before progressing to other substances. And then how do you make the transition to fent? It's just like, hey, you want to go to the gym, knock out a couple of supersets and then sit in the motel room with me for the next 4 days? Like, is that, how do the conversations go?
I'm off the motherfucking drawers, I be tripping.
The U.S. Postal Inspection Service was the leading federal agency on the case. Part of its remit is to combat drugs being sent via the U.S. Postal Service, with almost 8,000 pounds of meth seized in the fiscal year 2024, along with over 3,000 pounds of synthetic opioids, which include fent. He was mailing it. He was mailing it. I wonder how you know what size package to get. You know, because a lot of times I have to go into the post office to package it to get the right package, just to make sure. If it's a valuable, you know, if it's a valuable package, you got to make sure that it's packaged correctly. So did they help him with the? Maybe that's how he got caught. Maybe he was asking the postman to help him, you know, wrap his fent, and then that's what they, you know, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. I heard some scraped off the top when he tried to put it in one of those little drop boxes. That's what I heard. Because the next person came and it was just remnants all over the mouth. You know, like the box head was tweaking, you know. No, that box was lively. They couldn't even get nothing in there. That box was wilding out. Prosecutors said the couple received over 250 packages containing drugs between August 2024 and December 2025, according to the criminal complaint. Connie Luck, a spokesman for Ramaswamy's campaign, says Salsburey was immediately removed from the family's security detail. Now, if you want to know exactly the state of our media in 2025, when I went to do research for this article, the majority of them talked about Ramaswamy's former bodyguard. Former bodyguard had been arrested on trafficking charges. Meanwhile, the man got fired when he got arrested for trafficking charges. That's where we at. That's where we at. And by the way, that's why I know Vivek, because I tried to tell you about how they moving. You remember how they talk? Remember how they talked about you like a dog after you left Doge? Well, guess what had a whole trending topic on X? Huh? They didn't even have the Portland shooting up there, but they had you though.
News again, because this one's just too good. Don't let all of this distract you from the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy's family bodyguard was arrested for drug trafficking along with his wife. And just guess which ones. Oh, fentanyl, methamphetamine, MDMA, and steroids. It's time you sit out a few plays, Ramaswamy.
And speaking of sitting out, why he left X, he knew this story was coming. I bet. Vivek. You know? They said starting in 2024. So they gave you a whole lot of lead time. This kind of coincides, actually. The arrest last week actually kind of coincides with when you decide that's how it looks. Because you knew they was gonna cook you. Because they cook you in the regular times.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
So I can only imagine what they doing now.
But wait, there's more.
Damn, Vivek got his bodyguard to take charges for him. I mean, honestly, that's better than how they did Byron, because Byron had to take his own charges. So,
Rising Republican star on the defensive tonight as questions about his past surface. Byron Donalds has been embraced by the titans of the GOP, the Tea Party, Governor Rick Scott, and congressional candidate Kirk Clausen. But now, Fox 4 investigator Warren Wright is showing you how newly revealed arrests from his past are coming back to haunt him.
They saying you smarter than Byron. But like Byron, they tried to go at the people around him too. I told. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a reason y'all were co-nominees for the Ruckus Award. There's a reason for that.
How much you love white folks? Best thing the good Lord ever did for the planet Earth. Ruckus, you black as ace of spades, man.
I'll bite. Listen, if Vivek Ramaswamy, with all the money he has, can't protect his own family from drug dealers, How the hell is he going to protect Ohio families? How can he be trusted with state security and law enforcement? He can't. The guy's an effing idiot, and I wouldn't trust him with my dog. He's inept and or dirty. He raised some good points, Vivek. He raised some good points. We talking about vetting. Don't you always like to talk about how you know people? I know people. I know people, but you don't know when people's pupils be dilated, apparently. Like you never, you like, I know my bodyguard's so popular, just random people walk up to him all the time and engage in whisper conversations behind my back. It's crazy. They just trust him with all their information and cash. You know, you the one that always say you know people. Huh? Oh, you said you were dirty? I don't think they were being racist. I think they kind of off the racism. They barbecuing you for this reason. I think they got a little distracted from the racism. I think it was saying you dirty, like, you know, and the charges. I don't think it was literal. Huh? MAGA leaders are full of hypocrites and gaslighting grifters. No, not MAGA. Not the same people that been indicting random politicians for years in the spirit of saving the kids. Now what?
You're a Trump supporter, yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Can you say what you just said again?
I said, I don't care if there's 100 14-year-old girls that come forward, not only implicate him, but is proven in a court of law. Let him be the president for all of us. Don't we want him to succeed?
Well, except for the 14-year-old girls who were trafficked. You're saying ignore their stories.
There are bigger issues in the world.
Then telling the stories of children who were trafficked and giving them their justice?
Much bigger issues in the world.
Not the same MAGA that swallowed the story about narco-terrorism to go into Venezuela despite the fact that it was in Project 2025 and he had contacted the oil companies in advance. Well, I can tell you this. If they care that much about narco-terrorism and drug dealing, especially fent, this not going to be good. So apparently we should have been looking at Vivek Ramaswamy and his bodyguard if we're serious about stopping fent trafficking. Hey, MAGA, how you want to carry it? How you want to carry it? This won't be your first rodeo if it came to something that you care about magically deciding it doesn't matter when it's inconvenient. There's a reason why I say your MAGA-dom isn't actually about anything. We've seen you compromise your ideals far too many times. Look no further than what's going on with ICE in Portland and Minneapolis. Yeah, my don't tread on me MAGAs, they've been real quiet. So MAGA, you know what I mean? How you want to carry it?
Well, we're waiting.
Only drugs ever shipped associated with Ramaswamy that actually worked. Yeah, she talking about the pharmaceuticals. Yeah, she talking about the pharmaceuticals. Well, did he get in that stash? No. He also said they didn't work.
Man, this some more bullshit.
Vivek went to school with my son-in-law and was invited to my daughter's wedding, but didn't show. Apparently was smart but full of it. Quite the trail of failed ventures for Vivek. You know her? It sounds like she got a bone to pick. You better hope she's not on that jury. But she does have a vote. I don't know if I ever seen anybody just engender this much ill will. I mean, does anybody like you, Vivek? Oh, you got one?
It don't matter, he's dope. He don't matter, he's dope. He's so stagnant, he knows when he goes back to this mobile.
After Vivek Ramaswamy family bodyguard arrested on federal trafficking charges, we get your headline is misleading. You only mention that Vivek did not hire this man near the end of the article. You frame the story to sound as if Vivek hired this man personally and is somehow connected to him. Your framing seems politically motivated. Vivek, put your phone down. Put your phone down. We found the burner. We found the burner account. Oh, you got a notification. Vivek hired a sketchy company that employs drug dealers to provide security for his family. Happy now? Hey, Vivek, they ask you if you happy now. Yeah. That's what they call institutional control. You know, that's when coaches be getting fired because underlings be wilding. Yeah. I got a couple supervisors fired for stuff like that too. You didn't answer the question though. Are you happy now? That's true. They are off the racism. That is a positive.
Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
There it is. Vivek is the first Indian that doesn't know how to outsource properly. Well, really, that's one of the positive ones. That's one of the positive ones. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a stereotype, but it's a compliment though. I'm guessing this is one of the reasons Vivek got off social media. Can't trust an Indian scammer. That was a little worse. That was a little more aggressive. That was a little bit more aggressive. Not what we saw previously though. Well, this is awkward. Vivek Ramaswamy's personal family bodyguard and the bodyguard's wife were arrested for shipping hundreds of packages containing fent and meth. I bet his people are vetted about as well as the million foreigners in Ohio. Now that one definitely xenophobic. Definitely xenophobic, but they said foreigners in general. So they might have been talking about just the overall unhappiness with the immigration situation. So that wasn't like specifically, you know.
Because you're an Indian.
Every day another reason comes out why we can't vote for this. It took them a minute, but they got there. It took them a minute. It took them a minute, but they got there. At least they don't have that meme with the diaper on it though. So hey, you got to find the positive. You know, that's what the pastor told me before he fell. You like find the good and praise it.
And number two, cut out the identity politics. It doesn't suit Republicans. It's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours.
I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
If you are an Indian, a Hindu.
When Vivek looks in the mirror, this is what he sees.
Hey, that mirror meme is fire. I'm gonna have to use that mirror meme. That's a new one. And Vivek, look, at least when you get barbecued from the left, see how your head is normal size and your hair like a regular haircut that you will find on the wall. See, we don't do none of the 8-bit stuff that they be doing.
This is what he sees. When Vivek looks in the mirror, this is what that man sees. Because you can't tell him nothing. You can't tell that man nothing. He said identity politics is not our game. That's the only game they play. Identity politics and racism is their only shtick. That's literally their entire personality. That's what they do. There is groups of people who run around America in white hoods.
And if you want to know just how married they are to the racism, these are the people that will go back into history and talk about the fact that they freed the slaves and the history of the Democratic Party as if Yahtzees and Klansmen ain't on the bridge in middle America today. Today. And I will ask the same question that I asked when they tried to both sides your comments, Vivek, and your replies. How much do you think Trump would win that demographic by? You think he would hit 80%? 90? 95? Too low?
Billions and billions and billions and billions.
Like, being racist. Like, come on. There are people who are walking around in white ski masks. Being racist. But at the end of the day, you can't tell that man nothing. FAFO.
Oh, Vivek, one more thing that you should check out before you go.
As I arrived at church yesterday, I noticed that there was something going on just a block and a half from the church. And so I grabbed my whistles because we're used to doing that. And I went down to see what was going on. And I realized it was an ICE raid. And there were many, many protesters. So I joined the protesting. And before I knew it, I saw ICE agents circling a young woman who appeared to be Hispanic. And so I approached her, and we were at that point chanting, "We are not afraid. We are not afraid. Go out of our state. We are not afraid." And I said to this ICE agent, "Take me. Stop harassing her. Take me." The agent came, got in my face, pointed a gun at me, and said, "Are you afraid now?" To which I said, "I am not afraid." The next thing I knew, they were putting handcuffs on me, and they put me in the back of an SUV. They came back 3 times, and they asked me if I was afraid yet. To which I replied, "Hell no, I'm not afraid of you, and I'm never going to be afraid of you." The 3rd time when they came back, they asked for my identification. They asked for my cell phone. I asked them if I was under arrest. They didn't answer. And then they said to me, "Well, you're white. You won't be any fun anyway. You can get out of the car." I was astounded to experience and see such blatant racism and the effects that this is having on our community.
That's right. Well, you're white. You won't be fun anyway. From ICE, who J.D. Vance has talked about giving, quote, ultimate immunity. So Vivek, once again, what was it that you were saying about identity politics? I would love to know, especially given that your current party line is slipping in the polls. It's time you sang a new song.
Back to the lab and get your this old rhapsody. Better go capture this moment and hope it don't catch. Lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. That was the song.
Do you wanna ride the white horse? Do you wanna ride in a white room with black curtains? Down, 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 down. I got 5 on it, messing with that endo-weed. Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm in the alley. Thank you guys so much for supporting the video. It's the end of another year we won't be able to explain to our kids. And what did we learn? Never trust a Jet 2 holiday. Never take your side piece to Coldplay. Now that's neo soul territory. So much has happened in 2025. Last year this time, I was selling podcasts out the back of my trunk using rent-to-own furniture. Last year, I was sitting the bench watching JV basketball as a senior with a uniform on, hoping I don't have to play. This year, I got 3 kids and a trick knee. 2025. Well, look on the bright side. At least your year was better than Katy Perry's and Sydney Sweeney's. Taylor Swift came into 2025 thinking they were going to win the Super Bowl and definitely going to make a run this year. And she was going to have all that airtime. They lost that one. And now Travis at home for the whole off season on the couch, gaining weight as a fiance. Damn. But since it is the end of the year, I want to remind all of our members to check the community tab and vote on our year-end awards. Those are going on right now, and there's a couple of polls that we've run already. I think it. But you know what? I feel hopeful going into the new year, and this community is a big part of that. Also, the Let 'em Fight banquet is also another very big part of that. But here we're talking about this community. I'm talking about our head moderator, Miss Ray, Regina, on research, and our editors, David, Denzel, and Boz, as well as all the mods that have helped us with the premieres, our research squad, which was just assembled. And by the way, if you would like to join either the research squad or be one of our volunteer mods, you can hit me up at admin@ReeseWaters.com. And I also have to give a special shout out to somebody who started out as one of our volunteer mods, but has become an integral part of this particular channel and has stepped up when needed. My girl, Deshauna, who also sent me this photo with her discouraged, depleted, but never defeated t-shirt. And you know what, Deshauna? It looks as good as I feel when I see your name in the chat during the premiere. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, and thank all of you for all of your support. I can't wait to see what's next.